Be content with what you are sure of, and the only thing you can be sure of is I am. Stay with it and reject everything else. This is yoga. All you need is to listen, remember, and ponder. It is like taking food. All you can do is to bite off, chew, and swallow. All else is unconscious and automatic. All is of the mind, and you are not the mind. The mind is born and reborn, not you. The mind creates the world and all the wonderful variety of it. Just like in a good play, you have all sorts of characters and situations, so you need a little of everything to make a world. Don't identify yourself with the world, and you will not suffer. Make your world perfect by all means. If you believe in God, work with Him. If you do not, become one. Either see the world as a play or work at it with all your might, or both. Identity, individuality, uniqueness. They are the most valuable aspects of the mind, yet of the mind only. I am all there is, too, is an experience equally valid. The particular and the universal are inseparable. They are the two aspects of the nameless, as seen from without and from within. Unfortunately, words only mention, but don't convey. Try to go beyond the words. What dies with death? The idea, I am this body, dies. The witness does not. A liberated man is extremely law-abiding, but his laws are the laws of his real self, not of his society. These he observes or breaks according to circumstances and necessity, but he will never be fanciful and disorderly. If you look into living process closely, you will find cruelty everywhere, for life feeds on life. This is a fact, but it does not make you feel guilty about being alive. You began a life of cruelty by giving your mother endless trouble. To the last day of your life, you will compete for food, clothing, shelter, holding on to your body, fighting for its needs, wanting it to be secure in a world of insecurity and death. From the animal's point of view, being killed is not the worst form of dying, surely preferable to sickness and senile decay. The cruelty lies in the motive, not in the fact. Killing hurts the killer, not the killed. All happens according to your faith, and your faith is the shape of your desire. When I say I am, I do not mean a separate entity with a body as its nucleus. I mean the totality of being, the ocean of consciousness, the entire universe of all that is and knows. I have nothing to desire, for I am complete forever. Can you touch the inner life of other people? I am the people. All beings are in me. The real cannot be described. It must be experienced. All is one, however much we quibble, and all is done to please the one source and goal of every desire, whom we all know as the I Am. What is the root of pain? Ignorance of yourself. What is the root of desire? The urge to find yourself. All creation toils for itself and will not rest until it returns to it. It can return whenever you want it. By all means, help the world. You will not help much, but the effort will make you grow. There is nothing wrong in trying to help the world. When the time comes for the world to be helped, some people are given the will, the wisdom, and the power to cause great changes. The sense I am is the manifestation of a deeper cause, which you may call self, God, reality, or by any other name. You must realize first of all that you are the proof of everything, including yourself. None can prove your existence, because his existence must be confirmed by you first. Your being and knowing you owe nobody. Remember, you are entirely on your own. You do not come from somewhere. You do not go anywhere. You are timeless being and awareness. Give up the idea of being what you think yourself to be, and there will be no gap. By imagining yourself as separate, you have created the gap. You need not cross it, just don't create it. All is you and yours. There is nobody else. This is a fact. Words don't matter. What matters is the idea you have of yourself, for it blocks you. Give it up. You must not be compelled to think the same thoughts again and again. Move on. Don't be childish. It's easier to change than to suffer. Grow out of your childishness, that is all. Everything happens all the time, but you must be ready for it. Readiness is ripeness. You do not see the real because your mind is not ready for it. Unready means afraid. You are afraid of what you are. Your destination is the whole, but you are afraid that you will lose your identity. This is childishness, clinging to the toys, to your desires and fears, opinions and ideas. Give it all up and be ready for the real to assert itself. You are moving into the future all the time, whether you like it or not. Your mind does move. In the now, you are both the movable and the immovable. So far, you took yourself to be the movable and overlooked the immovable. Turn your mind inside out. Overlook the movable, and you will find yourself to be the ever-present, changeless reality, inexpressible, but solid like a rock. Pain is transient. You are not. You are conscious. Hold on to it. In the abeyance of the mind, even the sense I am dissolves. There is no I am without the mind. All experience subsides with the mind. Without the mind, there can be neither experiencer nor experience. All consciousness is limited and therefore painful. At the root of consciousness lies desire, the urge to experience. Beyond pain and pleasure, there is bliss. Body means burden. Sensations, desires, thoughts, these are all burdens. All consciousness is of conflict. To know that pain and pleasure are one is peace. As long as there is consciousness, there must be pleasure and pain. It is in the nature of the I am of consciousness to identify itself with the opposites. Pain and pleasure are both bliss. Here I am, sitting in front of you and telling you, from my own immediate and unchanging experience, pain and pleasure are the crests and valleys of the waves in the ocean of bliss. Deep down, there is utter fullness. Is your experience constant? It is timeless and changeless. What the mind created, the mind must destroy. Listen, remember, ponder, visualize, experience. Also, apply it in your daily life. Have patience with me, and above all, have patience with yourself, for you are your only obstacle. The way leads through yourself, beyond yourself. As long as you believe only the particular to be real, conscious and happy, and reject the non-dual reality as something imagined, an abstract concept, you will find me doling out concepts and abstractions. But once you have touched the real within your own being, you will find me describing what for you is the nearest and dearest. The Jnani belongs to all. He gives himself tirelessly and completely to whoever comes to him. If he is not a giver, he is not a Jnani. Whatever he has, he shares. My teaching is simple. Trust me for a while and do what I tell you. If you persevere, you will find that your trust was justified. You seem to want instant insight, forgetting that the instant is always preceded by a long preparation. The fruit falls suddenly, but the ripening takes time. I claim nothing as my own. When the I is not, where is the mine? I am all yours. Eat me and drink me. But while you repeat verbally, give, give, you do nothing to take what is offered. I am showing you a short and easy way to being able to see what I see. But you cling to your old habits of thought, feeling, and action, and put all the blame on me. I have nothing which you do not have. Self-knowledge is not a piece of property to be offered and accepted. It is a new dimension altogether, where there is nothing to give or take. How does it feel at your end? The common things of life. I experience them just as you do. The difference lies in what I do not experience. I do not experience fear or greed, hate or anger. I ask nothing, refuse nothing, keep nothing. In these matters I do not compromise. Maybe this is the outstanding difference between us. I will not compromise. I am true to myself, while you are afraid of reality. Whatever you do for the sake of truth will take you to truth. Only be earnest and honest. The shape it takes hardly matters. Spiritual practice is will asserted and reasserted. Mine is a silent language. Learn to listen and understand. Meet your own self. Be with your own self. Listen to it. Obey it. Cherish it. Keep it in mind ceaselessly. You need no other guide. As long as your urge for truth affects your daily life, all is well with you. Live your life without hurting anybody. Harmlessness is a most powerful form of yoga, and it will take you speedily to your goal. This is what I call Nisarga Yoga, the natural yoga. It is the art of living in peace and harmony, and friendliness and love. The fruit of it is happiness, uncaused and endless. Turn within, and you will come to trust yourself. In everything else, confidence comes with experience. It is the mind that creates illusion, and it is the mind that gets free of it. Words may aggravate illusion. Words may also help dispel it. There is nothing wrong in repeating the same truth again and again until it becomes reality. The mother's work is not over with the birth of the child. She feeds it day after day, year after year, until it needs her no longer. People need hearing words until facts speak to them louder than words. Just like the one sun is reflected in a billion dewdrops, so is the timeless endlessly repeated. When I repeat, I am, I merely assert and reassert an ever-present fact. You get tired of my words because you do not see the living truth behind them. Contact it, and you will find the full meaning of words and of silence, both. By itself, nothing has existence. Everything needs its own absence. To be is to be distinguishable, to be here and not there, to be now and not then, to be thus and not otherwise. Like water is shaped by the container, so is everything determined by conditions. As water remains water regardless of the vessels, as light remains itself regardless of the colors it brings out, so does the real remain real, regardless of conditions in which it is reflected. We can talk of the unreal, the illusory, the transient, the conditioned. To go beyond, we must pass through total negation of everything as having independent existence. All things depend. On what do they depend? On consciousness. And consciousness depends on the witness. The witness is the reflection of the real in all its purity. It depends on the condition of the mind. Without the witness, it becomes unconsciousness, just living. The witness is latent in every state of consciousness, just like light in every color. The ordinary man is afraid to die because he is afraid of change. The jnani is not afraid because his mind is dead already. He does not think, I live. He knows there is life. There is no change in it and no death. Death appears to be a change in time and space. Where there is neither time nor space, how can there be death? The jnani is already dead to name and shape. He has nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to become. Do you know God, that you talk of Him so freely? What is God to you? A sound? A word on paper? An idea in the mind? You do not know your own powers. You never investigated. Begin with yourself now. To me, you are your own God. But if you think otherwise, think to the end. If there be God, then all is God's, and all is for the best. Welcome all that comes with a glad and thankful heart, and love all creatures. This too will take you to yourself. The world is but a show, glittering and empty. It is, and yet is not. It is there as long as I want to see it and take part in it. When I cease caring, it dissolves. It has no cause and serves no purpose. It just happens when we are absent-minded. It appears exactly as it looks, but there is no depth in it, nor meaning. Only the onlooker is real. Call him self or Atma. To the self, the world is but a colorful show, which he enjoys as long as it lasts, and forgets when it is over. Whatever happens on the stage makes him shudder in terror or roll with laughter. Yet, all the time he is aware that it is but a show. Without desire or fear, he enjoys it as it happens. He is happy and fully aware that happiness is his very nature, and that he need not do anything, nor strive for anything to secure it. It follows him, more real than the body, nearer than the mind itself. You imagine that without cause there can be no happiness. To me, dependence on anything for happiness is utter misery. Pleasure and pain have causes, while my state is my own, totally uncaused, independent, unassailable. The world just sprouts into being out of nothing and returns to nothing.